Hey y'all, I haven't been on here in a good long time, a good long while. But what I want to talk about today is paying attention to your food, paying attention to your meal when you're eating. So, um, one of the things I've learned is that, over here, one of the things we don't do a lot of times is pay attention to the food we're eating. We see what we're eating, we pick what we're going to eat, but when it comes to paying attention to the food while you're eating it, we don't do that. And so I've heard this before that, I've heard we need to slow down and we need to take our times and we need to not watch TV and stuff while we're eating. I've heard that and I've researched that over the years and researched how people, in particular women, over in France, stay slim because it's like they're known for, being slim and trim, right? Not everybody, but that's just a known thing. And the only reason I picked them is because they're the ones that's talked about. So the ones that I talked about, that's what I researched. But anyway, paying attention to your food is very important. Um, it's just like paying attention to a child. If you ignore the child is gonna start acting up and acting out. Well, the same thing with your food. If you don't pay attention to your food while you're eating it, it's gonna start acting out. Meaning you're gonna be eating too much, and pretty soon, um, you're gonna see that food acting out in your body in the form of fat, in the form of excess pounds and weight. You know, um, in the form of inflammation because you just eating for taste and you're not eating for health purposes. You just eating what tastes good to you without much attention to the nutritional value of it and is it good for your body or not. So as far as eating um, alone, a lot of us eat alone, but what we do to compensate for that is watch TV, watch our phones, watch a movie, um, things like that. Some of us might be playing games while we're eating, but what you want to do is engage, with your food. You want your full attention to be on your food because, okay, you picked this food out, you chose this food to eat, or if you didn't, this is what you got to eat. So, doesn't your food deserve your attention while you're eating it? And you're also going to be paying attention to your stomach. You're paying attention to your mouth as far as how you're chewing your food and, what's you're looking at the food, to make sure everything looks right. Ain't nothing, no insect flew into in your food. So, in other words, you need to be fully engaged. Your food, your meal needs to have your utmost and full attention. And that way, this is what will happen. Number one, you're going to enjoy your food a lot more. And then number two, you're not going to overeat because you're going to be paying attention. Okay, so let me give you an example. So, if you have diabetes, um, or you have a sugar or carb addiction, then and you decide to fix yourself some potatoes, mashed potatoes, broccoli, some fish vindaloo, and that's a Indian dish. So you have to look. It's like a spicy, almost like a curry, but it's spicier and a little bit sweeter than curry. Okay, so this is just an example of what I fixed today, and I also roasted some garlic cloves in the oven. So I decided to, because I am trying to lose weight, not lose it. I'm trying to get rid of excess weight Because see, when you lose something, that means you hope to find it. I don't hope to find these pounds, these excess pounds. So I'm working on getting rid of the excess weight in pounds. So anyway, you know, if you have problems with carbs, your body has problems processing carbs, meaning that carbs and sugar just are not good for your body. Then you don't want to start eating the potatoes first. You want to eat your vegetables first, your broccoli first, then your proteins. I didn't even eat the garlic cloves yet, but I guess I'm going to do that later. But your protein, and then the last thing is your carbs. Why? Because if you start eating the carbs first, you're not going to want to stop eating those carbs. You're going to overeat those carbs. That's just the nature of the carb. It's just like if you start dessert first and you have problems with, you know, controlling yourself with carbs and sugar, you're going to want to make a meal out of that dessert, right? I know from experience. So you want to eat the carbs last. So the way I eat, the way I ate today, I did taste the potatoes because I just, you know, have to taste them because I don't fix them. However I fix them, I still got to taste them to make sure everything is seasoned right. And so as soon as I started tasting those mashed potatoes, the first thing I did after tasting is when I decided I'm going to go ahead and eat is to fix me a small plate, a small bowl of the mashed potatoes. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, you know you don't need to be eating that first. So, and I really didn't want to eat the broccoli. I started to, but then I was like, but I don't really want broccoli. But you know what that is? That's because I've been tasting the mashed potatoes. And so what I really want to do is eat the mashed potatoes. So I'm like, I might as well just go and eat the mashed potatoes. But when I thought about the rest of the food, I'm like, you know what? I need to go ahead and, you know, eat the broccoli. So I fixed the broccoli. I put the mashed potatoes to the side. I fixed the broccoli. And so I went and sat down and ate my broccoli. And it was good. I seasoned it with some Aldi steak seasoning and some olive oil. And it was really good. And I just cooked it on the stove in a little water. And it was actually the frozen florets from Costco. So anyway, the next thing I did, excuse me, the next thing I did was go and fix me some of the fish vindaloo. And I did get some keto bread to go with that, some keto buns in particular, because I like the texture of the buns better. They're arrow wheat, I think. I think that's what they're called. Keto buns and bread, that's what I use. So I got a bun, a hamburger bun, and I ate that with my fish because the fish vindaloo has a lot of liquid or gravy to it or whatever, so sauce, whatever you want to call it. And so then my mashed potatoes just sitting to the side. So then when I finished that, oh, and I started to go when I went to go get the vindaloo, I wanted to get some more broccoli because I love broccoli. And so I put a few florets on my bowl plate, and you know, one of them kind of fell off to the side as I was picking it up. Part of it did, and so that let me know, girl, you don't need no more broccoli. So I dumped that back in the pot and went on to the vindaloo because I said to myself, you know, if I'm gonna get seconds of anything, then let me get first of everything first, and then if after that, if I want seconds, then I'll get seconds. But once I got finished with my first, all of them, I didn't even want any seconds. I was satisfied. Well, see, that's because I'm paying attention. As they call mindfully eating and not mindlessly eating. Okay, so I finished my vindaloo and my bread, and then I got the mashed potatoes. They were already fixed. So I ate my mashed potatoes. And I finished my mashed potatoes, and guess what? I didn't want anything else. I didn't want anything to drink. I didn't want anything else to eat. I didn't even eat any of the garlic. I forgot about the garlic, really. Because usually I would start off with some garlic. But I'm really fixing garlic, roasted garlic, because, you know, it's getting ready to start getting cool. Practically everybody in my family has, in my household, has allergies and stuff. So anyway, but all I did with the broccoli is, and it's broccoli, the big bag from Costco that's already peeled, the garlic cloves. I just put it on parchment paper on a pan. I drizzle it with the olive oil, and then I put the Aldi steak seasoning on it. This time, that's the first time I've ever done that. So anyway, as far as the mashed potatoes, I did, I used almond milk, salt and pepper. I used some coconut oil, and this is the liquid, flavorless coconut oil, and some extra virgin olive oil from Costco that's been blended with regular olive oil, so it's not fully extra virgin, it's a blend. And that one I find is not too heavy, and it's not overpowering. So that's what I put in my mashed potatoes. And yeah, that was it. So back to paying attention. I notice with myself, when I'm watching TV, when I'm watching anything, I could be watching YouTube, I'm just so into what's going on that show or that program. I'm just shoving food in my mouth. And I always end up eating too much because I want my food basically to last as long as that program lasts. So I'm just going to keep eating. I'm going to keep going back and getting more food. And that's not even necessary. But see, I'm not paying attention. That doesn't, the food doesn't have my full attention. No, that program has most of my attention. And the eating has a small percentage of my attention. And this is what's happening. This is how, you know, we're gaining weight. Our bodies are storing excess fat. We're over consuming the carbs and not consuming enough vegetables and proteins. Yeah. So, oh, and let's talk about mukbangs. I used to call them mukbang. I don't know if it's mukbang. But if you're going to watch somebody on YouTube eat, let's just say, because I did that one time. Okay, number one, make sure that whatever they're going to eat, whatever you're going to eat, is better to you than what they're going to eat. Why? Because what's going to happen, you're going to be sitting up there with your food, but you're going to be looking at their food, wishing you had what they have, and you're not going to even be satisfied with your food. So make sure, if you're going to do that, make sure your food is better than what they got or just as good as what they got. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. Oh, cooking shows. Cooking shows used to be a big thing with me, where I would watch cooking shows before I cooked or prepared the food for the day. And whatever they were cooking that I liked and looked good, then guess what? That's what I would want to cook. I would want some of that, right? So then I would be trying to figure out a way to fix that, you know, dish or whatever. And let's just say you're hungry. Well, being hungry is the wrong time to be watching a cooking show. No, you need to watch the cooking shows when you're full. That's what works for me. Eat your food. Get satisfied. When I say full, I mean satisfy your hunger. And then watch cooking shows. Be happy with your meal that you paid attention to and ate and enjoyed. And then look at the cooking show. It won't bother you then. It doesn't bother me then. It does, whatever they're cooking, it doesn't make me want some right now or as soon as possible. So yeah, we're raising a generation of people that are eating alone. But that's okay. Everybody's not alike. Everybody doesn't sit down at the table and have a family that sits down at the table that eats together. Some of us are on just different schedules. The whole family, everybody's, so everybody's eating by themselves. I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think you just have to learn how to do it properly, because you can enjoy eating by yourself. You don't have to have some company to eat. Enjoy your own company while enjoying your meal, enjoying what you fix for yourself to eat. So, that's my message. Pay attention to your food before your food becomes, a temper tantrum in your body. Yeah. So I think that's all I wanted to share with you all. And believe me, trust and believe, I'm not talking to you, I'm sharing with you, because this is for me too. Okay? So go out there and have a good day. And check back to see if I post anything else, because I do have another video in the plans to post soon. Thank you for listening. Bye.